Finally, we reached the lesson 5 in the data cleaning section, focused on inconsistent data entries, understanding how to account for human error in the creation of text data when we load it and use it. So here is our Kaggle notebook. I have loaded it in my own account. I will go ahead and run this first set of code, which initiates a whole bunch of modules or libraries that we'll use. Pandas, of course, NumPy, Chardette, which we used previously, and another module called Fuzzy Wuzzy. So Fuzzy Wuzzy is a fun name of a library, and it helps us find, detect, and fix typos, essentially, like human-related errors in text data. The data set that we'll be looking at is a data set of professors from across the world that looks like from various types of software development and computer science faculties. And one of the things that we're going to be looking at is in this data set, there is a country column here that indicates which country that professor is from. We can look at that country column in more detail here. If we pull out all of the unique values of that column of country and we go ahead and sort them and then print that out, you can see here that there is Germany, New Zealand, Sweden, all these different countries. And somewhere in here, you can see that there are basically some inconsistencies that are caused by the way this data was inputted in a non-uniform way. So for example, there is inconsistent data entries like Germany and Germany. So Germany with a space in front of it versus Germany with a lowercase g here at the end. New Zealand has two different inputs, one of them having a space, one of them doesn't have a space. And there's different kinds of formatting here. You can see South Korea with a space in between, without a space, UK, USA, US of A. So there's all different ways that humans have inputted these countries. And yeah, it looks like these are just problems with capitalization, trailing white spaces. 80% of text data entry problems are like this. If you want to do an analysis on this data set, you need to make all of those fields consistent. If the country column is something that you're interested in using to first, let's say, count up the number of professors in a certain country, you have to make this consistent. You can convert lowercase to uppercase and vice versa, which is something that we've done here. We've convert everything to lowercase, remove all white spaces using the .lower function and the .strip function, which will help do those things. And then there are problems in the inconsistent data entry. So how can we fix the issues of having different types of entries? Here we have the same thing again. You can see that all the spaces have been removed. All of the letters have been made lowercase. And you can still see that there are inconsistencies like South Korea having both a space between South and Korea and no space in between South Korea. Fuzzy matching is what Fuzzy Wuzzy as a library does. We can use Fuzzy Wuzzy to process and extract everything that is similar to this South Korea with a space in between, and basically find matches to this string, South Korea. Here you can see South Korea is 100% match. South Korea without the space in between is a 48% match. Saudi Arabia, 43, Norway, etc. So there's a list of items here where you can see that, yeah, basically these first two are correct, South Korea. So the author of this tutorial is also going to create a whole bunch of code here, which I don't want to go through line by line, but the essence of this is to replace all rows in the country column that have a ratio of greater than 47 with South Korea. Basically replacing South Korea without the space in between to make it consistent with the one with the space in between. If we do that, basically we have a function. This is the chunk of code that creates the function to do that. Then down here, you have a situation where you are applying this function, or you're calling this function. You're inputting the data frame as professors, the column as country, and the string to match as South Korea. Once you've gone and run that, you can see here that you have not the problem anymore of having two South Koreas. You have one South Korea with a space in between, and that has been fixed. So this is just a really simple, yet you can see that there was a kind of relatively complex function that was created to help find this. This is just another example of finding libraries out there like Fuzzy Wuzzy that can help process the data and make it more consistent and uniform. This is really helpful for when you're looking at big text files with lots of messy data and possible human errors in those data.